It is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. Welcome to Veda! It's not a car coming, is it? I don't know if you can hear it, but one of my neighbors is shouting. Guess he's also making a movie with non-actors. Something that just occurred to me, or at least occurred to me earlier today, regarding the whole Watcher debacle is that they kind of said, using way too many syllables, that they have some great ideas for which they'll need more money that they can't get through YouTube, which is why they have to move to a subscription, i.e. pay us money directly based streaming platform. And it reminded me of something that Kanye West said a while back. He said he was billions of dollars in debt, or was it millions? This is Kanye. It was definitely billions. And then he later clarified that he actually had plenty of money, but he has all these amazing ideas and he needs much more money than he currently has to capitalize on them. And since he doesn't have that money, he's billions of dollars in debt. I make strange associations. So anyway, it is the last day of Veda, so I guess I'll start off with something that's really irritating to me, almost certainly accentuated by autism. Last Saturday, I think, my dad wanted to check out a bunch of gun stores in the Altoona area, so of course, first of all, I had to Google the addresses, and he decided that I should drive because I'm familiar with the area. I know how to program a GPS. I know how to listen to a GPS. We did something like this before, but he was driving, and it seems like whenever we're going through an area where it's easy to miss the intersection where you need to turn, he speeds up every time there's an intersection. At least it felt like that. I don't do that. I can actually obey the GPS usually. Sometimes it's confusing even for me, so you can imagine how confusing it is for someone who maybe reaching senility and refuses to wear his hearing aids because the earpieces of glasses scrape on them, and it doesn't occur to them, why doesn't he ask his ear doctor for something that doesn't go over the back of the ear? They must exist, right? It was a bit irritating, but nothing I couldn't handle really, especially if I have time to cool down afterwards. But yesterday I was driving on a long stretch of road where I can't turn off anywhere. If I need to, well, I'm getting there. My dad calls and he wants the number of the last gun shop we went to where he bought something. So the number should be on the receipt, which he would have kept. And he said, I think I might have it myself. Like, if you have it yourself, then check. It's not more convenient for me. And especially with my car's audio system doesn't work. Okay, even if it did work, it wouldn't turn on while the car isn't running. But you get the idea, which means that I have to make certain adjustments. So if I want to listen to audio from my phone, I need to use this Bluetooth speaker. If I want to listen to the radio, which, well, really wouldn't do much if I'm driving, but if I'm at the drive-in or if there's one of those signs that says, emergency, turn to this channel. And if the phone rings, I can't just, where's the button? Here we go. I have to actually take one hand off the steering wheel. Imagine that I've got another one on that side. And so if I answer the phone in the car, it is automatically annoying. Yeah, I really have a thing about unnecessary work. I remember when I was working in an office with my dad, that didn't help. He does tend to side with authority figures over his own family. I would sometimes stay there for several hours after close to finish something, but God forbid if I came in late the next day because he didn't want me to get overtime. Not my dad, the boss. And I think it was actually explained to me, well, that there might be something for me to do. And in fact, if I run out of stuff to do, I should ask for more. So you're going to give me busy work? I mean, considering that I'm willing to come in early or stay late or work weekends to get the hours, yeah, I don't have to be there from 8 to 5. Yeah, they said it was 8 to 5. Lunch hour didn't count. I told my dad, I thought it was 9 to 5. So I never heard of that. It's like, Dad, you listened to the radio in the 80s. And anyone who ever listened to the radio in the 80s knows what I'm talking about. Okay, here's a hint. One thing that's been stressing me since before this month began and is continuing to stress me as the month ends, ever since I replaced the battery in my garage remote. I have not been able to get it to sync with my garage, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong that I did right the previous time, because this is not a new opener, this is not a new remote. And even more confusing, I managed to get it to sync with my parents' garage door. So, remember I told this to my dad and he said, have you tried changing the battery? He's like, that's what caused it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that they changed the battery. Even if I didn't, you never tell a person like me, did you do the obvious thing that of course you would do because it's obvious? But on the plus side, a few days ago, my mom asked me to come over and help her with 2 things in the house, and I did. And she said, I know I didn't ask you to do this. I know you don't like it when I add things, but if you have time, could you also do this other thing? And I said yes. I mean, I did have the time. It wasn't that much. And she didn't just add it on. She understood that I don't like being told one thing and then having the other just, you know what, I've complained about this in the past. So all it took was a meltdown in front of the former minister's wife, probably. Hopefully she remains like this. Hopefully me agreeing isn't interpreted as, oh, good, I can just add stuff, even though I only told him to do 2 things. Or, you know what I mean. That's and, well, I guess that's the end of Veda for this year. I will do Veda again next year, barring the unforeseen. I think next year, well, I'll try to prepare more. I think it'll help. Next year, April almost certainly won't start with me already burnt out. I mean, for one thing, Easter is going to be April 20th next year. So that's near the end of April, really, the middle to the end. So it won't have already burnt me out. And even if a movie I really want to see is released around the same relative time as Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was, it won't require nearly as much prep. So, I've got other videos to make. Might actually finally finish part 4 of my Ultra Q vlogs. No promises. Testing. I hope this is the right angle. Yeah. Okay, that's good enough. Too stupid, son.